had to recreate the family that I had in Flatbush and the close school spirit and the Jewish identity that I had in Flatbush in college.
So in high school, we have these people that care about us and that we care about them surrounding us, and we've had those people since we were in pre-K, and in pre-K we didn't have to try to make these connections. They just came to us and they built and built over time. But when you leave high school, sometimes it's difficult because suddenly those bonds and those connections and those people, they just disperse into all different places, and we're stuck in this new environment, and sometimes it's hard to find those new connections and those new bonds.
There's a couple that really hit me. The first one is that, you know, when we were in high school, we were 17, 18 years old, we knew about drugs, we knew about alcohol, it was there, you know, it was out there, but you go to college, it's on your plate. I mean, you know, the kid next to you is telling you, here's this, here's that, I mean, choose, what do you want? It's very dangerous, and when I went into college, I realized that, and it scared me a little bit, because, you know, it's all over the place, but thank God, you know, me and my friends were strong. We don't look that way. But it's a very big thing that you have to be careful. It's very different than high school. Another thing also that was very different for us was in high school we didn't go to class, we got a cup. Okay, you know, in high school they told you where to go, they told you what class to take, they told you everything. They took care of you. In high school we didn't do much, we just went to the class. In college you have to do everything yourself. You have to schedule your classes. You're paying for your education in college, and you have to take responsibility. So the biggest transition I think is that you have to know when you're leaving high school and going into college, it's really all about you.
So in high school, it was more like I'm running around all over the place. I'm doing all these extracurriculars. I'm coming home at 10 o'clock at night. I ate dinner and when like everyone's sleeping and it's just crazy. And I really only used to see them on Friday nights. But now that I have a steady schedule with whatever I'm doing, work and school and everything, there's much more set aside time to be with my family.
Since high school, I've been to Israel for the year, and now I'm dorming. So my relationship with my family changed in the sense that I don't see them on a day-to-day basis. So when I do come home every so often, it's really hard because like you have so much to talk about, so much to catch them up about, and you just have such little time to do it in. Now that I'm like living on my own, my parents treat me different in the sense that like they don't harass me with questions anymore. When I was in high school and I used to go out, it would be like, oh, who are you going with? When are you coming home? How are you getting there? Should I wait up? Should I do this? How was it? They just ask so many questions and you feel suffocated. But like now that I'm living on my own, they like trust me. They know I'm like independent.
I was pretty close to my family. I was always looked up to my father. Teachers actually have called me by my father's names once or twice before. They say I'm exactly like him. But when I got to college, I got much closer with my family. I think kind of because the friends weren't there as much.
So when I left high school, I went to Israel, and I went from not really having so much independence because I went to school and I came home every day to being in a country where I had a lot of independence and I had the opportunity to explore and try and understand myself and what I want with my life. And I think what was most difficult for me was when I came back from Israel and I was home back under my parents' roof, because once I'm back at my parents' roof, I have to abide by their rules and the things that they want me to do. So I definitely learned that with more independence comes responsibility, and you can definitely strike a balance.
So in high school we had a day coming in at 7 o'clock in the morning sometimes and all the way till 6:15 for AP Chem, and even that was difficult to keep your family life because you got home and you were just stressed from everything. But in college sometimes it gets more difficult. Either you're dorming or you take on these new responsibilities like a job, and sometimes you get home and you just look at your family life and you be like, I'm sorry, I just don't have time for you. And even when you do have free time, sometimes it's difficult to take that time and spend it on your family. You just want to either go to sleep or work on something that's due in a few weeks from now. But I think it's important that when you have that free time, don't waste it. Spend it on your family so that you can maintain that family life.
It was really throughout the course of the year. What they would do is they would continue to tell me that, yes, I was brought up with this family and I have these values that through the years I was able to accumulate. But going into college, that can't just go out. That's not something that just goes in the trash. It's something that you have to stay true to yourself, and really it's the reputation of me and it's the reputation of my family that it's in college is not a different place. You're still the same person. You still have to act in the same way.
The helpful thing that my parents did for me was not pressure me in any which direction. They didn't tell me like,
Brenda, get out of the house. And they didn't tell me, Brenda, you have to stay home. They left the decision up to me whether or not I wanted to dorm or stay home for college.
Year was that the next year I was going to be learning things that I'm going to need to know for the rest of my life. And then for me, that I'm going to college for me, I'm not going to college for them or anybody else.
Something I would have liked to know as a senior about applying to colleges would be to look more into the actual college and be realistic about what I want from the college rather than deciding about my choice based on the reputation of the college.
That it's good to make the effort to really try and understand who you are and what your values are and how you want to live your life. And the more you identify values with yourself and who you want to be, the easier it is to go out to the world and more confidently.
Kind of take advantage of it all, because you don't necessarily realize how special all the mundane things are that you take for granted every day.